The world keeps moving faster. Faster headlines. Faster anger. Faster expectations. Everyone wants to move, but no one remembers where they're going. You wake up and feel the pull. To check. To scroll. To chase. To catch up. But the truth is, you can't outrun the world. You can only outstill it. The stronger you become inside, the less the world can move you. That's not a weakness. That's gravity. Stillness isn't the end of motion. It's the command of it. The mind that reacts is a leaf in the wind. The mind that's still is the mountain beneath it. The world will tell you to hustle harder, to move faster, to do more. But listen closely. Stillness doesn't mean you stop moving. It means you move from power, not panic. You'll start to see what others can't. You'll stop chasing what doesn't matter. You'll begin to master the quiet force inside you. This is not about withdrawal. This is about command. About becoming the center of your own world, calm, clear, immovable. Because the storms will always rage. The noise will always call. But you can become the calm that holds it all. This is your practice. This is your gravity. This is immovable. The practice of stillness for inner strength. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Gravity Within. Why Stillness is Power. The world measures power by motion, by noise, by speed, by how much you can show, post, or prove. But real power doesn't need to prove. Real power is silent. Real power is still. Stillness is not the absence of movement. It's the mastery of it. It's the calm that controls the chaos, the weight that holds everything in balance. Stillness is gravity. It doesn't push. It doesn't chase. It simply pulls everything into alignment. Look at nature. The mountain doesn't move, yet it shapes the wind that touches it. The ocean surface is restless, but its depths are quiet and commanding. Stillness is not passive. Its power is under control. You've been taught to react, to move, to respond instantly, but every reaction gives away your center. When you move without awareness, you lose your gravity. And when you lose your gravity, everything starts pulling you. People, problems, pressure, they all start dragging you out of balance. That's why you feel exhausted. That's why your mind never stops spinning. You've become reactive, and reactivity is weightlessness. You're being thrown around by everything that doesn't deserve your energy. But once you learn to be still, truly still, everything starts to orbit around you. Because stillness doesn't chase control. Stillness is control. Think about it. Who leads the conversation in a room? Not the one who talks the most, but the one who listens without reacting. Their calm becomes the rhythm everyone else adjusts to. Their stillness changes the temperature of the space. People don't follow noise. They follow their presence. And presence is born from stillness. You see, energy moves toward stability. The calm person attracts. The chaotic person repels. That's why anxious minds struggle to lead. Because their energy leaks in every direction. But a centered mind, a still mind, it pulls people in without effort. That's gravity. It's not loud, but it's felt. And the deeper your stillness, the greater your pull. The modern world teaches motion. It celebrates chaos disguised as ambition. You're told to move faster. Post more. Prove your worth constantly. But movement without depth is motion sickness. And that's what most people feel every day. Dizzy, distracted, disoriented. They've mistaken activity for progress. But true movement doesn't come from speed. It comes from precision. And precision only comes from stillness. Stillness is your internal compass. Without it, you move. But you don't know where. You follow noise instead of direction. You respond to emotion instead of intention. And that's how most people lose themselves, not through failure, but through a frenzy. You can't build power on chaos. You can only build power on presence. Stillness is a muscle. You don't find it. You train it. You build it through small pauses, through moments of choice, through awareness before action. Every time you resist the urge to react, you strengthen your center. Every time you breathe through tension, you deepen your roots. And every time you choose patience over panic, your gravity grows. Stillness gives your words weight. It gives your emotions discipline. It gives your energy focus. The still mind doesn't get pulled into every argument. The still heart doesn't attach to every outcome. Because stillness sees the truth. That most chaos is borrowed. You don't have to own it. So today, start simple. When something tries to shake you, don't react. When emotion surges, don't drown in it. When pressure rises, breathe through it. Every calm breath is a declaration. I am centered. I am grounded. I am still. The world will continue to move, but you will remain. Steady, focused, immovable. You've learned your first law of gravity. Stillness is power. Movement without meaning is chaos. Next, we move inward. Chapter 2, Becoming the Center, How to Find Calm When Life is Spinning. The world spins faster every day. Deadlines, opinions, noise, motion, everything pulling your attention in 100 directions. You wake up already chasing time. Chasing validation, chasing control. And the faster you spin, the less you feel, the less you notice, the less you remember who you are. The world doesn't slow down, so you must. There's a simple truth hidden in the noise. You can't stop the spin, but you can change your position inside it. Most people live at the edge of the wheel. That's why they feel dizzy. They cling to motion, thinking it means they're alive. But the closer you live to the edge, the more every turn shakes you. The wise move inward, to the center. Because at the center, everything moves around you, but nothing moves you. Stillness is not escape. It's anchoring. You don't rise above life to find peace. You sink into yourself until you become it. That's how you stop being tossed by everything that happens. That's how you stop being ruled by every emotion that passes. You don't fight the spin. You become the axis. Think of a hurricane. The outer winds destroy everything in their path. But the center of the eye is calm, clear, silent. The same chaos that tears everything apart can't touch the one who stands in the center of it. That's what inner strength feels like. It's not that life gets easier. It's that you get steadier. Calm is not given, it's built. You build calm the same way you build muscle, through resistance. Every time life throws you chaos, it's giving you a chance to grow stronger inside. Every insult, every delay, every uncertainty. It's an invitation to come back to your center. To breathe, not break. To observe, not absorb. To stand, not spin. But here's the trap. Your mind loves the edge. It loves activity. It loves stimulation. It craves noise because noise feels alive. The silence of the center feels uncomfortable at first, because silence exposes what motion hides. When you stop moving, you start feeling. When you stop running, you start noticing. And when you finally stop reacting, you start seeing how often you gave your peace away for free. The center is not always a peaceful place at first. It's where you meet your own restlessness. You'll feel urges to escape, to check, to distract yourself. That's the mind detoxing from the addiction to movement. Breathe through it. Stay with it. You're not losing control. You're reclaiming it. Ancient warriors trained in stillness before battle. They practiced silence to build focus. Because the one who can stay calm under pressure sees what others can. They don't flinch when the moment comes. They move only when it matters. The power of stillness is not passive. It's precise. The calm mind isn't slower, it's sharper. It reacts less because it sees more. That's why calm leaders create powerful results. They move from clarity, not chaos. When you operate from your center, you stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter. You stop defending your ego and start protecting your focus. You stop chasing approval and start choosing alignment. Stillness refines you. It teaches you what deserves movement and what deserves peace. Your center is built through practice, not philosophy. Sit in silence for 5 minutes a day, not to escape, but to notice. Notice how many thoughts fight for your attention. Notice how your emotions try to pull you outward. Breathe. Let the world spin, and stay seated inside yourself. That is your training ground. That's where the mind learns. Stillness is safety. Calm people aren't born that way. They're trained that way. Every situation that tries to shake you is an opportunity to practice steadiness. You become the center by returning to the center over and over again. You lose it sometimes. You get caught up. You spin. But awareness brings you back. That's the discipline. Not perfection, but return. The deeper your stillness, the wider your perspective. You start to see that the chaos wasn't your enemy. It was your teacher. Every storm showed you how strong your roots could be. Every spin showed you where you still cling. Stillness is not an escape from life. It's how you finally meet it, fully awake. So when life spins again, and it will, remember, you don't have to chase control. You only need to stay centered. Because calm is not the absence of storms. It's the ability to stand untouched inside one. The world will keep turning. People will keep rushing. Noise will keep calling. But you will stay grounded, focused, clear, immovable. You are not the chaos. You are the calm that commands it. You are not the wheel. You are the center that holds it together. You found your axis. Now, learn how to move from it. Chapter 3: Unlearning the Rush, Escaping the Addiction to Motion. The hardest thing to unlearn is the belief that speed means success. You've been conditioned to move faster, louder, always doing something. Because somewhere along the way, you were taught that motion equals meaning. But it doesn't. Movement can hide emptiness. And many people are sprinting through life, trying to escape the silence that would reveal it. You see, stillness isn't natural to the modern mind. We've built an entire world on restlessness. Notifications keep us chasing. Metrics keep us comparing. Even rest has become performance. Recharge fast. Sleep efficiently. The world doesn't ask you to pause. It dares you not to. The addiction to motion is subtle. It doesn't feel like chaos. It feels like control. But the truth is, it's a distraction in disguise. You think you're managing life. But life is managing you. Every time you open your phone for no reason, every time you fill the silence with something, you're avoiding the stillness that could save you. Because silence isn't empty, it's honest. It shows you what's real, what's unresolved, what's been buried under all the noise. And that's what the addiction to motion hides. The uncomfortable truth that most of what we do is just avoiding what we feel. When you slow down, you'll feel the pull. The urge to reach for distraction, to check, to move, to escape. That discomfort isn't weakness, it's withdrawal. You're detoxing from chaos. Your nervous system has been trained to need stimulation, and stillness feels like starvation. But if you can sit through that hunger for noise, you'll find something most people never touch. Yourself. Real peace doesn't come from adding things. It comes from subtracting. You subtract comparison. You subtract approval. You subtract motion for the sake of motion. And what's left is presence. Presence feels strange at first, because it's quiet. But quiet doesn't mean nothing is happening. Quiet means everything real is beginning. A person trapped in motion is always late. Not in time, but in awareness. They're living 2 steps ahead of their own life. Planning the next task. Posting the next image. Thinking about what's next, instead of what's here. But the person who learns to be still arrives everywhere on time. Because presence has no schedule. There's a story of an ancient monk who walked through a crowded market without being disturbed. People shouted, argued, bargained, but he moved through it as if the world had slowed around him. Someone asked, "How can you be so calm in such chaos?" The monk replied, "The noise is outside of me. It does not enter." That is what you must learn, the ability to let motion exist without letting it disturb your peace. You can move fast, as long as your mind stays slow. You can act with urgency as long as you don't act from panic. Because speed isn't the enemy. Attachment to speed is. True stillness is internal. You can be calm even while the world races. It's not what you do, it's where you move from. Ask yourself, how much of what you do each day is movement without meaning? How much is reaction, not response? The difference between the two is small, but it's the difference between peace and exhaustion. Reaction is survival. Response is mastery. Reaction is motion. Response is stillness in motion. Stillness teaches you the art of moving deliberately. You learn to speak only when words matter. You learn to act only when movement adds meaning. And you learn to stop when the soul whispers, "Enough." That whisper is the sound of alignment returning. The addiction to motion doesn't end overnight. It ends through awareness. Through choosing stillness, again and again, until it becomes your new default. Eventually, the silence that once scared you becomes your home. The pause that once felt awkward becomes your power. And the emptiness you feared becomes the space where strength grows. So slow down. Not because you're falling behind, but because you've finally caught up. Breathe before you speak. Wait before you react. Let stillness interrupt your autopilot. Because motion is easy. Stillness is earned. And the more you practice it, the less you'll need to prove anything at all. Soon you'll notice. Time starts bending for you. You'll accomplish more by doing less. You'll connect deeper by speaking softer. You'll stop running after peace, because peace will start walking with you. That's what happens when motion becomes mastery. You don't need to chase meaning anymore. You are meaning when you are fully here. You are not your speed. You are not on your schedule. You are your stillness. You are immovable. Chapter 4: The Mirror of Awareness, Seeing Without Reacting. There's a space between what happens and what you do next. That space is your power. Most people never live there. They react before they think. They speak before they breathe. They move before they notice. And then they wonder why their life feels like a storm they can't control. Awareness is the mirror that ends the storm. It doesn't stop life from happening. It just shows you what's real. Awareness doesn't fight emotion. It watches it. Awareness doesn't resist chaos. It sees through it. You don't control the world by reacting faster. You command it by seeing clearer. When you learn to observe without judgment, everything changes. Emotion stops being your master. Fear becomes information. Anger becomes a signal, not identity. Pain becomes a teacher, not punishment. Because awareness turns experience into wisdom. Most people live trapped inside a reaction. Something happens and they become it. Someone insults them and they are insulted. Someone ignores them and they are unworthy. Awareness breaks that pattern. It lets you see the event without becoming it. It's the difference between getting caught in the river and standing on the bank, watching it flow. There's power in learning to pause before you respond, to breathe before you speak, to see before you judge. Because reaction is survival. Awareness is evolution. Reaction lives in the body. Awareness lives in the soul. And when you live from awareness, the world stops being your enemy. There's a story told in many traditions of a monk insulted by a warrior. The warrior spits at him, expecting anger. The monk simply wipes his face, bows, and continues walking. "You're not angry," the warrior shouts. "No," the monk replies. "That's your anger. It never entered me." Awareness doesn't take things personally. Because it knows, what people throw at you is a reflection of their weather, not yours. The more you react, the less you see. The calmer you are, the clearer everything becomes. Anger fogs perception. Fear distorts focus. But stillness is the light that reveals everything as it is. You can't change what you can't see clearly. And that's why awareness is your first weapon. Awareness says, "I see my emotion, but I am not my emotion. I feel my anger, but I am not my anger. I watch my fear, but I am not my fear." That distance, that space between you and your feelings, that's freedom. The mind without awareness is a mirror covered in dust. Every thought leaves a mark. Every emotion smudges the reflection. But awareness cleans the surface. And suddenly you can see reality again, not how you fear it is, but how it actually is. That's what makes awareness dangerous. It dissolves illusion. You begin to realize, not everything that hurts you is meant to harm you. Some things shake you to show you what's fragile. Some people trigger you to reveal where you're still healing. And some silence exists to teach you presence. That's awareness, The understanding that life is always showing you. The next time someone tests you, before reacting, pause. Ask yourself, what is this moment trying to teach me? You'll find that awareness makes even pain purposeful. It turns irritation into information. It turns triggers into teachers. Because every emotional storm becomes a mirror. The more you practice awareness, the more stable your emotions become. You stop needing to prove. You stop needing to win. You stop needing to fix every misunderstanding. You simply see. And from seeing comes knowing. And from knowing comes peace. That's why the calmest people seem mysterious. They're not hiding something. They've just learned to hold what they see. They observe the world like a mirror reflecting, not absorbing. And that reflection changes everything around them. Awareness doesn't mean indifference. It means clarity. You still care. You still love. You still act. But you no longer drown in every wave. Because you've learned to stand on the shore of your own consciousness. Watching the tides come and go steady, grounded, present. So train your awareness daily. Practice watching your thoughts without judgment. Observe your feelings like clouds, passing, changing, temporary. The more you watch, the less they control you. And soon you'll realize, nothing that happens around you can move the calm within you. Awareness doesn't make life easier. It makes you stronger. Strong enough to face life as it is, without running, without pretending. That's the essence of stillness. Seeing what is, and staying whole within it. You don't need to fix everything you see. Sometimes, seeing clearly is the healing. Because once you see it, you stop feeding it. And what you stop feeding begins to fade. That's the power of awareness, quiet transformation. You are no longer reacting to life. You are reflecting it. And through that reflection, you're becoming more real, more calm, more immovable. Chapter 5. Pressure creates presence, turning into stability. Pressure. The word alone makes your chest tighten. It's everywhere. Deadlines, expectations, responsibilities. Everyone wants calm. But everyone lives under pressure. You can't escape it. But you can learn to use it. Because pressure, when faced correctly, doesn't destroy presence, it creates it. Think about it. Pressure is what forms diamonds. It's what builds strength in metal, muscle, and mind. Anything that lasts was once tested. The same heat that melts the weak forges the strong. And the difference isn't the pressure. It's the presence you bring into it. The mind that panics under stress is reacting. The mind that breathes under stress is training. The situation may be the same, but the outcome is not. Because stillness doesn't mean no stress. It means strength under it. You don't eliminate pressure. You become the presence that outlasts it. Stress is not your enemy. Your resistance to it is. The tighter you fight pressure, the more it controls you. But when you meet it with calm awareness and steady breath, something begins to shift. The same weight that once crushed you starts to build you. You realize, pressure is not punishment. It's potential. The moment life feels heavy, pause. Don't rush to escape it. Don't panic to fix it. Just breathe into it. Feel it. Hold it. Because pressure is the weight of your own becoming. It's the universe saying, you're being shaped for something stronger. But here's the truth. You can't build strength without stress. Comfort breeds weakness. Challenge builds character. Every breath held in discomfort becomes a brick in your foundation. Every setback survived with calm becomes fuel for resilience. The mind that meets pressure with patience becomes immovable. You have two choices in every challenge: react or return to presence. Reacting feeds chaos. Returning creates a command. That's the secret of powerful people. They train under tension. They don't wait for peace to find stillness. They practice it in the middle of the storm. A soldier once said, "In battle, you don't rise to your expectations. You fall to your training." That's life. Under pressure, you don't become something new, you reveal what's already there. So train your stillness now, when things are small. So when life grows heavy, you already know how to breathe under the weight. Most people run from pressure. They mistake challenges for danger. But the wise, they run toward it. Not to suffer, but to sharpen. Because every challenge carries two paths: panic or presence. One weakens you. The other awakens you. Pressure creates clarity. It burns away what's unnecessary. It exposes what you've been pretending not to see. That's why some moments feel unbearable. They're revealing the parts of you still untrained. Not to shame you, but to strengthen you. Because presence isn't learned in comfort. It's earned in pressure. Breathe. That's your first tool under tension. When the heart races, breathe slow. When the mind spins, breathe deeper. The body listens to the breath, and the breath listens to awareness. When they work together, pressure becomes presence. Stress doesn't disappear when you master stillness. It transforms. It becomes a signal not to suffer. It reminds you to come home to yourself. To stay grounded. To stay breathing. To stay aware. Every time you meet stress with stillness, you teach your nervous system peace. You stop being someone who breaks under pressure and become someone who becomes sharper through it. You stop flinching. You stop doubting. You start holding. And one day, you'll realize the very pressure that once crushed you is the reason you stand so tall now. You'll see that pressure was never the problem. You were just looking at it too closely. Step back. Breathe. Watch. You'll notice. The heat doesn't burn when you understand its purpose. It forges you quietly, piece by piece, breath by breath. The mountain doesn't grow weaker under the storm. It grows cleaner, sharper, more defined. You are that mountain. Every gust of wind, every drop of rain, every crash of thunder, they are shaping you. Don't run from them. Stand. Breathe. Stay. That's how presence is born. Chapter 6. The Weight of Waiting. The Strength in Patience. Waiting. The quiet ache between where you are and where you want to be. Most people hate it. They want progress without pause. Results without resistance. But the truth is nothing real grows fast. The oak doesn't rush its roots. The mountain doesn't force its rise. All power takes time. And patience is what gives it form. Waiting feels heavy because it demands surrender. You can't control when or how, or if things will unfold the way you want them to. And that uncertainty feels like weight. But what if that weight isn't punishment, is it training? What if patience is not weakness, but discipline? Patience is not passive. It's presence stretched over time. It's the art of holding your ground when nothing around you confirms your progress. That's the strength most people never build. The ability to wait with awareness. To trust the process without losing yourself in the silence of it. The world glorifies speed. Hurry. Grow faster. Get there now. But everything powerful moves slowly. The sun doesn't rush to rise. The tide doesn't force its return. Only impatience tries to outrun alignment. And impatience always collapses under its own weight. Patience means you believe in timing, not in luck, but in rhythm. Because everything has its appointed moment. The problem is never time. The problem is trust. You think waiting means wasting, but waiting is working. You just can't always see the roots growing beneath the surface. Patience is the furnace of inner strength. It tempers your emotions. It humbles your ego. It polishes your perception. You learn that control doesn't come from force. It comes from restraint. The power to wait, calmly, deliberately, faithfully, is the highest form of command. Think of the seed. It spends months in darkness before it ever breaks through the soil. If you dug it up every day to check its progress, you'd kill it. But left alone in patience, it becomes a forest. Your growth is the same. Some seasons are meant for deep roots, not visible branches. And that unseen growth is what gives strength to everything that follows. Patience doesn't mean you stop moving. It means you move with awareness. You take the next step, but you don't demand the finish line. You do what you can, and release what you can't. Because life doesn't reward impatience. It rewards endurance. Some of the greatest mistakes in life come from forcing what wasn't ready. A decision made too soon. A word spoken too fast. Impatience is expensive. It costs clarity. It costs peace. But patience pays in alignment. It delivers exactly what belongs to you when you've become ready to hold it. Waiting tests your faith, not in the world, but in yourself. Can you stay calm while your results are silent? Can you trust the process while your progress is invisible? That's the real test. Not patience in comfort, but patience in uncertainty. Every delay carries a lesson. Every pause holds wisdom. Life uses waiting to stretch your perspective, to make you deeper than your desires. Because some things can only be understood slowly. You can't rush wisdom. You can't hurry maturity. They're built through the quiet rhythm of time and reflection. Patience teaches emotional mastery. It breaks the habit of reacting. It teaches you to wait before you decide. Every moment you hold your impulse, your awareness expands. You start to feel that deep inner knowing that not everything deserves a response. That sometimes, silence is the response. There's a power in the calm person who doesn't rush. They're not slow. They're deliberate. You can feel it in their presence, grounded, certain, centered. That's not arrogance. That's trust in timing. Because they've learned the truth, the right things never need to be chased. Patience is a teacher that never yells. It speaks in silence. It is rewarding in hindsight. Every season you waited prepared you for the one that came next. You may not see it now, but every delay protected you from what you weren't ready for. Life's timing isn't late. It's merciful. So breathe. You are not behind. You are in process. Don't rush what requires roots. Don't curse the stillness that's building your strength. The weight of waiting is the gravity of becoming. You're learning to stand still. Even when the world is asking you to run. You're learning that delay doesn't mean denial. It means direction. And one day when everything aligns, you'll understand why you had to wait. You'll see that patience was not wasting time, it was building your foundation. You've mastered waiting with awareness. Now, let's talk about movement with meaning. Chapter 7, Still Flowing, How to Move Without Losing Center. You've learned to be still. You've learned to breathe through pressure. You've learned to wait without breaking. Now, it's time to move again. But this time, you won't move from chaos. You'll move from the center. The world moves fast. People rush, hustle, and chase, mistaking motion for progress. But real power moves differently. It's quiet. It's focused. It's still flowing. Because stillness isn't standing still. It's being anchored while you move. Watch a river. It flows endlessly, but it never loses its direction. It bends. It adapts, but it always finds its way. That's balance, movement with awareness. Flowing without losing form. Stillness doesn't mean you stop living. It means you stop leaking energy. You stop rushing toward everything that moves. You stop reacting to every pull. You move with purpose, not panic. You act, not react. You lead, not follow. The centered person doesn't run through life. They glide. They do less, but accomplish more, because every step they take is rooted in clarity. The body moves, but the mind stays still. That's true mastery, motion without disconnection. The greatest athletes, artists, and thinkers share one quality: flow. They move fully present. Their attention doesn't scatter, it locks. Every motion feels effortless, but only because it's anchored in awareness. Stillness creates flow. Think of martial artists in battle. They're not frantic. They're fluid. Every move comes from calm focus. Every strike from still awareness. Because when the mind is quiet, the body becomes intelligent. That's why stillness isn't the opposite of movement, it's the source of it. You can live that way too. Walking, working, speaking with stillness in motion. It's not about what you're doing. It's about how you do it. You can rush with panic, or move with presence. The difference is energy. One drains you. The other sustains you. Try this. Next time you walk, feel your feet touch the ground. Next time you speak, feel your words leave with intention. Next time you listen, don't think, just be there. That's the flow. That's stillness in motion. Most people move out of fear. Fear of being late. Fear of missing out. Fear of not being enough. But fear-driven motion never brings peace. It just multiplies noise. The calm person moves differently. They move because they're aligned, not because they're afraid. That's the kind of motion that builds worlds. Stillness doesn't make you slow. It makes you accurate. When your inner world is calm, your outer actions hit the mark. You stop chasing every idea. You execute the right ones. You stop trying to control people, you master yourself. And that's how movement becomes meditation. You'll start to feel it, the rhythm of your own energy. You'll know when to act, when to pause, and when to wait. Life stops being a race, and becomes a dance. Flow is just awareness, expressed in motion. Stillness gives you the confidence to move freely, because you know wherever you go, your peace goes with you. You stop searching for calm places. You become one. That's what makes your presence magnetic. People feel safer around you. They feel slowed by your energy. Because you've mastered the rarest skill, moving without losing stillness. Stillness in motion is leadership. It's parenting with patience, working with clarity, loving with awareness. It's the ability to be the calm rhythm in a world full of noise. And that rhythm changes everything it touches. So wherever you go, walk slowly, speak softly, act deliberately. Because your peace is not fragile. It's portable. And when your peace travels with you, the world can't shake you. You've learned how to move. Now you'll learn how to protect your peace, even when the noise tries to take it. Chapter 8: The Fortress Within, Guarding Your Energy in a Demanding World. Your energy is your most valuable currency. Not your time, not your talent, not even your words. Because energy is what turns all of them into power. Without energy, you can't focus. Without energy, you can't love deeply. Without energy, you can't grow or give. But the truth is, most people leak it faster than they create it. They say yes when their body says no. They give attention to everything and intention to nothing. They scroll endlessly, react constantly, and wonder why they feel empty. You can't feel full when everything is pulling from you. That's why you must build boundaries, not walls, but fortresses. A fortress is not made of isolation. It's made of awareness. Awareness of what drains you. Awareness of what sustains you. You don't protect your peace by hiding from the world. You protect it by managing access to your energy. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everyone earns your response. That's how you stay unshaken in a world that pulls. You can't pour into everything and expect to stay full. Your energy is sacred, and sacred things must be handled with intention. Before you give, ask, does this align with my peace, or drain it? Before you reply, ask, does this conversation feed my purpose, or feed my ego? Every moment is a transaction. And the most disciplined people don't spend their energy, they invest it. Modern life demands your attention. Notifications, opinions, comparisons, all competing for your focus. But every time you give in, you weaken your fortress. Energy management begins with attention management. Because where your attention goes, your energy follows. You don't need more time. You need fewer leaks. Guard your mornings. They set the rhythm for the entire day. Don't start with noise. Start with stillness. A calm morning is a silent declaration, my energy belongs to me. The first hour after you wake decides how much peace you'll have by night. Guard your space. Clutter drains clarity. Noise dulls focus. The environment you live in either anchors your energy or leaks it. Create spaces that feel like stillness, calm light, open air, quiet corners. You don't need perfection. You need presence. Guard your conversations. Some words build, others bruise. Ask yourself, am I speaking from calm or from chaos? Energy is contagious. Choose your exchanges wisely. The wrong conversation at the wrong time can undo hours of peace. Protect your peace like you protect your pulse. Guard your emotional access. Not everyone deserves your vulnerability. Some people listen to respond, not to understand. Don't explain your peace to those committed to chaos. Let them think you've changed. You have. You've learned that energy is not infinite. It must be guarded, guided, and grounded. Guard your mind. What you consume shapes what you become. Information is food, and not everything you read, watch, or follow is meant to feed you. Curate your inputs. Protect your mental diet with the same discipline you protect your body. Stillness isn't only silence, it's also a selection. Guard your rest. Rest is not laziness. It's renewal. The mind that never stops thinking begins to rot from fatigue. Sleep with intention. Breathe deeply before you close your eyes. A rested mind is an invincible mind. Because stillness is built in sleep as much as in silence. Every boundary you build is an act of love, not rejection. Love for your time. Love for your energy. Love for your clarity. Boundaries don't isolate. They elevate. Because when you guard your energy starts guarding you. You stop entering every argument. You stop explaining every decision. You stop chasing every approval. And that silence feels heavy at first, but soon it feels like freedom. Because peace becomes your natural state, not your reward. You are the fortress. Your awareness is the wall. Your stillness is the gate. And your boundaries are the guards. You don't hide inside it. You shine from within it. That's how your peace begins to influence the world around you, not by noise, but by presence. You are no longer drained by life. You are directing it. You are no longer pulled by chaos. You are anchored in stillness. This is not withdrawal. This is a command. Chapter 9. The Unmoved Mover. How to Influence Without Force. The greatest power is often the quietest one. The kind of power that doesn't shout, doesn't chase, doesn't demand. It centers. It anchors. It influences not through noise, but through gravity. That's the power of the unmoved mover. The one who commands through calm. You don't control people by pressure. You guide them by presence. You don't dominate a room by being the loudest voice. You command it by being the most grounded energy. Because stillness isn't absence of power. It's the refinement of it. Force is easy. Anyone can push, yell, or demand. But true influence begins when you no longer need to. When your energy becomes so stable that others adjust to your rhythm. That's leadership in its purest form, the kind that moves worlds without moving an inch. The unmoved mover doesn't chase validation. They radiate certainty. They don't argue to be right. They live what's right. And because their actions align with their essence, their influence expands naturally. Others can feel it even without words. You've met people like this. They walk into a room and everything subtly shifts. Not because they demand attention, but because they draw alignment. They don't react to the world reacts to them. That's not luck. That's mastery of stillness. Energy doesn't lie. When you're calm, others feel it. When you're desperate, others sense it. People may not read your mind, but they always read your energy. That's why inner stillness is the most magnetic form of power. You don't persuade through words, you transmit through being. True influence is invisible. It happens through resonance, not resistance. It's the teacher who inspires silence in the classroom, not by shouting, but by embodying calm. It's the parent who leads not through fear, but through consistency. It's the leader who rebuilds quietly after everyone else panics, because their calm repairs what control can't. Influence without force is not passive. It's precision. It's the art of doing the right thing, at the right time, with the right intention. You can't fake it. The universe doesn't respond to manipulation. It responds to alignment. There's a deep peace that arrives when you stop trying to convince. You stop trying to be understood and instead become understanding. You stop trying to change people and start embodying what change looks like. The world begins to adjust to your frequency, quietly, steadily, powerfully. You influence best when you no longer need to. Because when you detach from control, you become the one who commands naturally. Force creates resistance. But presence creates gravity. And gravity doesn't chase. It draws. Think of the sun. It doesn't move toward the planets. It simply shines, and everything revolves around it. That's what happens when you master inner energy. Your stillness becomes an orbit. You stop chasing and start attracting. Stillness in leadership doesn't mean doing less. It means doing right. Every word you speak is measured. Every gesture carries intention. You learn that silence can be louder than sound. That patience can be stronger than control. That presence moves the world more deeply than pressure ever could. Influence is the natural outcome of integrity. When your actions and your energy match, you no longer need to push. You simply exist as truth. That truth vibrates through everything. Your tone, your timing, your stillness. And that vibration changes rooms, even when you say nothing. The unmoved mover understands that everything in life is energy. What you resist, persists. What you allow, transforms. Influence isn't about overpowering, it's about outstilling. When you remain calm while others lose balance, your steadiness becomes leadership. Think of history's calm ones, the visionaries, teachers, thinkers. They didn't scream their message. They embodied it. They influenced through example, not demand. Stillness carries farther than sound. So when life demands your reaction, remember, you are the center. When people challenge your calm, remember, your energy decides the temperature of the room. When chaos rises, lower your tone. When conflict burns, soften your breath. That's how you influence reality, by remaining calm others can't find. Your stillness isn't silence. It's a signal. It says to the world, you can move but I will not. That's not arrogance. That's the command. You no longer seek control through force. You embody control through being. That's the true meaning of influence. Not bending the world to your will, but aligning yourself so fully with truth that the world bends naturally around you. You've learned how to move without losing center. You've learned how to protect your peace. Now you understand how to radiate it, effortlessly, endlessly. Because the unmoved mover doesn't force change. They become it. Chapter 10. The Still Horizon. living unshaken in motion and silence. There's a point you reach on this path, a moment when all the noise fades, and you realize the goal was never peace around you, but peace within you. You've spent your life trying to build calm conditions, perfect plans, safe relationships, predictable outcomes. But life never agreed to stay predictable. The storm was always going to come. The noise was always going to rise. The test was never about stopping it. It was about standing still through it. The still horizon, that's what it means to live unshaken. It's not an escape. It's a presence. It's the place within you that no wave can touch. You reach it not by control, but by surrender. Not by closing your eyes to the world, but by opening your awareness beyond it. Stillness doesn't end when motion begins. True stillness moves with the motion like the deep ocean beneath a raging surface. It flows quietly, steadily, without ever losing depth. The world will always demand your reaction. It will test your patience. It will push your boundaries. But when you've built stillness, you don't bend under it, you breathe through it. You become the calm center in constant movement. You start living with what I call anchored freedom. You can go anywhere, do anything, and still remain internally unmoved. That's real mastery, not isolation, but integration. Because peace was never meant to be found. It was meant to be carried. You carry it in your breath, your tone, your awareness. You carry it when you listen instead of react, when you breathe instead of argue, when you pause instead of chase. And every time you choose that, you become the horizon itself, calm, endless, still. You can live your whole life like that, moving through chaos with quiet control. You'll still work. You'll still strive. You'll still love. But you'll do it from peace, not from panic. That's the difference between existing and commanding your existence. Between living at the mercy of the moment and living in mastery of it. The horizon doesn't react to the storm. The sun doesn't rush to rise. Everything powerful in nature moves in its own time. So do you. When you align with stillness, you align with nature's pace. You become part of the rhythm that governs everything. That's what it means to live in flow, to move without being moved, to act without anxiety, to love without fear. Most people love reacting to weather. Their peace rises and falls with the forecast. They wait for calm days to feel balanced. But the still one, the immovable one, carries the horizon inside them. Rain or sun, loss or gain, love or silence, they stay steady. Because they don't live from circumstance. They live from consciousness. When you reach that level, you stop needing validation for peace. You stop needing perfect days. You stop needing to prove yourself. You just exist, and your existence itself becomes a message. I am enough. I am here. I am whole. That's what people feel when they're around you, not your words, but your calm. They begin to breathe easier. They begin to slow down. Because your peace makes theirs possible. That's the true impact of stillness. It doesn't stop at you. It ripples outward. Your family feels it. Your friends feel it. Even strangers sense it. You become like a mirror reflecting back the calm that others forgot they had. That's how you heal the world. Not by saving everyone, but by standing still and showing what peace looks like. You may think peace makes you fragile. It doesn't. It makes you formidable. Because when everyone else is running, you're breathing. When everyone else is reacting, you're observing. When everyone else is breaking, you're building. You've become what life can't bend, a steady hand in a shaking world. The still horizon isn't a single moment. It's a lifetime practice. Every morning, you return to it. Every conflict, you anchor in it. Every loss, you find refuge in it. It becomes your way of being a quiet devotion to balance. And it doesn't matter what you face, the horizon remains. There will be times when life pulls at you hard, moments that threaten to take your calm away. And you'll forget for a while. You'll react, you'll worry, you'll lose your breath. That's okay. Because stillness isn't perfection. It's practice. Each time you come back, you strengthen the habit of returning. And that's how mastery is built, not by never falling, but by always returning home. You've learned to breathe through storms. You've learned to trust time. You've learned to listen to silence. Now all that's left is to live it. Live stillness in motion. Live patience in progress. Live calm in creation. Because peace isn't an ending, it's a way of moving through beginnings. Stillness doesn't stop the world. It teaches you how to move with it gracefully. To walk among chaos with quiet eyes. To speak in storms with a steady tone. To act under pressure with patient fire. That's how strength expresses itself, not through noise, but through precision. Every motion is guided by awareness. Every word is born of silence. The still horizon is you, the version of you that no longer breaks under life's pull. The one that remains whole, calm, awake. When you reach it, you realize peace was never a destination. It was the truth waiting under every distraction. It was there when you were rushing. It was there when you were lost. It's been there all along, quietly waiting for your return. You are no longer chasing peace. You are at peace. You are no longer trying to become calm. You carry calm. You are no longer surviving the world. You are shaping it through stillness. Every step you take, every breath you draw, every pause you hold is presence in motion. That's the horizon. That's the stillness. That's you, unmoved, aware, alive. You've learned how to be silent without being weak. You've learned how to wait without losing faith. You've learned how to move without losing center. You've learned how to lead without forcing. Now you are the stillness itself. Still in motion. Still in silence. Still in self. You have become immovable. The still soul, a return to silence. You've reached the end of this journey, but stillness has no ending. Every word you've heard was never about changing the world. It was about remembering the calm that's always been within you. You are not your past reactions. You are not your stress or your fear. You are the awareness behind them. The space that sees, breathes, and chooses. Stillness isn't a place you visit. It's the truth of who you are when the noise fades. And now you know how to return there. Anytime. Anywhere. With one breath. When the world moves fast, you stay slow. When people lose control, you stay centered. When life demands reaction, you offer reflection. Because you've learned the greatest strength of all, to be still in motion. To be peaceful under pressure. to be clear in chaos. You no longer chase alignment, you are aligned. You no longer seek calm, you carry it. And through you, others will remember what peace feels like. You've walked through silence. You've stood in storms. You've learned to breathe under weight. And now, you've become what you were seeking all along. This is your invitation to live awake, to live aware, to live immovable. Not perfectly, but presently. Not loudly, but powerfully. Not someday, but now. When the world gets loud again, don't run from it. Return to the breath. When your peace feels far away, remember, it never left. You did. And every time you come back, you return stronger, calmer, wiser. Because this is what it means to live beyond the noise. This is your stillness. This is your strength. This is your life. Immovable. If this message spoke to you, share it. Subscribe. Keep listening. This is Beyond the Noise Studio.